every Sunday. So, happy Mother's Day, and I want to begin today's talk to set the tone for this Mother's Day service with a little story. So, this is from a book called The Architect of Abundance by Lenadra Carroll, who is the mother of Jewel. So, it's a very appropriate way to begin this service today. The little girl watched the woman in church with the new baby. They were right next to her. The baby snuggled in a soft white blanket, dressed up in a beautiful long white gown that had ribbons and lace. The lady cradled the little one, beaming down with such a beautiful smile, cooing quietly. Her glossy black hair fell across the snowy blanket, touching the baby's cheek lightly. After a while, the baby began to fuss and squirm, and the woman just crooned and cooed with her carefully. Her eyes were so gentle. Shh. Her voice was soft and soothing. As the baby quieted, the little girl by their side felt a deep longing. I want that, she said to herself. I want someone to hold me, just like that. She sat very still for a long time, pretending she was the baby. It felt so safe and warm there, next to that pretty lady. That sense of being completely enveloped in protection and love in a safe and secure blanket. Oh, it sounds so good. That feeling of being completely filled with indescribable, delicious, unconditional love is something we all crave. We all crave it. Whether you're a little girl, a grown woman, a little boy, or a grown man, it's something that is inherent to what we want to feel in life. Some of us received it as babies, others as children, as adults from our earthly mothers. Others, like author Lenadra Carroll, who was the little girl who was standing there, did not. And for those reasons, this Sunday is a bit of a mixed bag for me. I want to honor the mothers and acknowledge the power of our earthly mothers' love, but I am very sensitive to those who never felt a mother's love, like me, and like Lenadra Carroll. But it's okay. You'll know why at the end of the talk. So to approach this mixed bag, I want us to do three things. First, we recognize the critically important role our earthly mothers played in our life. Second, we will look at the divine feminine principle for the concept of this divine mother. And third, and I think this is a very tremendous importance, we will come full circle and connect with the divine mother that is inside each and every one of us. Sound good?
Yeah.
Good, because that's what you're getting. First, recognizing our earthly mothers. We all owe our mothers a deep and heartfelt thank you. And why do I say that? It's pretty simple. Without her, we wouldn't be here. That's a good reason. Start there if you have to. As Glinda said in the musical Wicked, as she began to tell the story of the Wicked Witch of the West, she had a mother like so many people do. And I have another little thing here. Some school-aged children were once asked, wait a minute, I skipped over something. No, I didn't. Okay, some school-aged children were, the wisdom that comes from a children's mind, were once asked, why did God make mothers? And the answer included, she's the only one in the house that can find the Scotch tape. And others said, mostly to clean the house. But the most insightful child said, to help us out of where we were so we can get born. Yes, so we can be grateful that we are here, or else we would not have been born. So whatever you are on that mother's continuum, on one end, having this most nurturing, loving mother, or on the other hand, maybe you had a wicked witch of the West. Could be either. That's okay. We each owe our mothers a thank you. A thank you for bringing us into the world, whether we like it or not. So you might as well be thankful. That's my own take on it. Of course, someone once said that their mother taught them the full circle of life when she said, I brought you into this life and I can take you out. It's a full continuum. And you know that's true. Some of you might know that. We won't go there. I have said a couple of times that we owe our earthly mothers a thank you. But what if this morning we chose to do it freely? Just a what if. So, whether they are with us still in earthly form or not, we are going to show gratitude in our own consciousness, and we're going to do that right now. Jimmy, could you just string a little? Yeah. So let's close our eyes. I invite you to close your eyes. We'll do a very short little meditation, just for a moment. In the silence of your own hearts, thank your mother for bringing you into this world. Keeping your eyes closed. What if, just this morning, we gave our earthly mothers more than a thank you? What if, again in the silence of your own heart, we stepped up spiritually and we put on our big spiritual shoes and we choose to accept her for exactly who she is or was, with all her gifts and flaws, and celebrate her gifts. Forgive her for her flaws, and just simply love her. This will be easy for some and difficult for others, but we could do it just anyway. And I'm reminded of the poem by Mother Teresa, Do It Anyway. And the first line reads, people are often unreasonable, illogical, self-centered. Love them anyway. How about if we do that for just a few moments? Okay, you can open your eyes and go back to the room. Take a really nice deep breath. We're going to move on. The concept of a mother is. However, let me talk about something so much greater than our experience with our earthly mothers. And we do ourselves a grave injustice when we limit our thinking to just this experience. It is, in fact, a spiritual concept, the concept of the divine principle, which is very big in this New Thought teaching. The divine principle, which is, as Reverend Rita showed us, this is the creative process, the middle part, those lines, is the law. Well, that's the divine feminine. It's the law. And it receives what is put into it and gives back out lovingly whatever it is that is put into it. The concept of the feminine principle or the divine mother. We're going to talk about that now. Dr. Ernest Holmes, who wrote Science of Mind, refers to the feminine principle as the universal womb of nature because it is creative and receptive, and it unconditionally nurtures and grows whatever falls into its embrace. And that's a softer way to look at what we call the divine law. This is God in the mode of the divine mother. Not human mother with all her histories and fears and etc. It is the divine mother who unconditionally nurtures and grows whatever falls into her embrace. The nurturing nature of the universe is the very essence of unconditional love. The cosmic divine mother is always attending to her children, which would be us, in whatever way serves our eternal needs. We are never alone. We are always loved and embraced. We are the baby in that blanket. We are warm and we are safe, even if it's just at this moment. We can feel that because that is the absolute truth. There is only a oneness, pure consciousness. And in that pure consciousness, there is the divine feminine principle that takes in and lovingly puts out. She who gives her children freedom to choose the rocky roads of life and experience all the pain of the path. Yet there she is when we call out for help. And like the mother bird, who, when her chicks are ready to face the world, very gently pushes them out. Unlike that mother bird, though, our cosmic mother also allows us to come home to the divine at any moment. It's like the prodigal son, but we're talking about the divine female principle. This, too, is the cosmic mother's nature. God as the divine feminine is unconditional love. Love is the glue that holds the universe together. This is even being proved in our quantum physics, that there is this consciousness, and that consciousness is pure love. So, most of us would agree with the statement that unconditional love is the most powerful force in the universe. The French mystic Pierre Teilhard de Chardin put it this way: the conclusion is always the same. Love is the most powerful energy in the world. All these mystics talked about this love. It's not just something that we make up and everything's peace and love and lovely. It's a rocky road to live in this life, but it's so great to know that these incredible minds all came to the same conclusion, and that love is where we center ourselves. And the conclusion is the same. It is the most powerful energy. Love creates. Love does not destroy. Let us remember that. Science of Mind again, Holmes writes, love is the grandest healing and drawing power on earth. It is the sole impulse for creation. And that leads us into the third aspect. Connect with the Divine Mother inside. And so, my friends, on this Mother's Day, this could be a chance for each of us to consciously connect or reconnect with this principle, the principle of divine femininity, the divine feminine. Remember, in what we call God, there is no gender. It's gender-free. We talk about fluid, that's the word today. Well, that's God. God is completely fluid. It's always flowing. And so today, because we are celebrating Mother's Day, we'll talk about what Ernest Holmes called the divine feminine principle. So each of us can connect or reconnect with that principle within us anytime that we choose, because this is where the true power of unconditional love, the true power of creation resides within us. We get to create. To help us do that, I want to share a story with you that occurred a few years ago in Burlington, Iowa. This is a story about the true power of unconditional love. The power of the divine principle, the activity of the Divine Mother when it is not covered up by human filters. The story was entitled, Dog Has Kitten for Lunch. And the narrative went like this. You can understand why some visitors to Burlington, Iowa, Humane Society get a little freaked out by that title. It's not every day you get to see a dog having a kitten for lunch. And not just a kitten. This dog is about to have a whole litter to lunch. The story of this unusual dining experience began a couple of months ago. Lily, a mixed bag of a lab, and they don't even know what else, was found along an old farm road. She was pregnant and soon had puppies, all of whom were adopted. Everything was normal until one day the kittens showed up without their mother. And Teresa Kurt, who works for the shelter, said, we didn't know what to do. It would take an awful lot of work to feed all those 6 little kittens with a little bottle. Then she came up with this idea, a possible solution. Even though there's a big difference between a cat and a dog, we thought, let's just give it a try and see if the dog would have the kittens for lunch, which she did, breakfast and dinner too. And she nurtured them in ways such as when one of the kittens fell into the water, she rescued it and pulled it out. So is this unique? Is it unique and one of a kind? Perhaps not. Listen to this. There was a cat that heard an abandoned fawn crying for food and took in the little deerlet. Or a goat that raised a baby horse. These are all documented. And perhaps most amazingly of all, the leopard who in killing a baboon unwittingly made the baby an orphan. But instead of having it for an appetizer, sat down beside it and mothered it. Why would an animal show such grace? Science is still scratching its head and trying to unravel these mysteries. But the instinct to love and nurture must deeply be wired in all beings. And when you take away the outside factors and influences, then that is what we do. And that's taken from Steve Hartman, CBS News, Burlington, Iowa. Probably have not watched that news, so it's news to us now. But that inherent compassion and love is hardwired into us. A lot of people can't show it. We know that. A lot of people can't show it, but it's there. They just have stuff in the way, a lot of stuff. So when you take away the outside factors and influences, that is what we do, because that is who we are. We are each made in the image and likeness of the cosmic mother. Whether we are male or female, it doesn't make a difference. This is who we are. The Nature Carol also writes, I like this. This love, in truth, simply is. Love is. Love is the essence of the life force surrounding us. It is what allows everything to have cohesion. Love is both our own birthright and our legacy. Love is the original blueprint of the soul. I love that sentence. Love is the original blueprint of the soul. Love is what we are. It does not need to be searched for, worked on, transformed into. It is within us and all around us. So we can take refuge in it when we are afraid. We can tap in it to heal our hearts when we send it out to those who are injured or need it. Since there's no separation in the oneness, they have to feel it on some level of their being. We can deepen into it and allow it to be the sole impulse for building our lives. That's why loving kindness that I speak of so often is so, so important. That smile at a stranger, that kind word to someone you don't know, can change their life. We don't know. And it makes us feel good in the process because we are being loved. And today I invite you to do just that. Today I invite you to build your life on the solid foundation of love, the love of the divine cosmic mother, which surrounds you, is you, comes from you, and comes back to you. Celebrate. Let's celebrate this day. Let it remind us. Let it be a celebration to remember that Mother's Day is the love that you are. It's the love that you inherently are. And since there's only one presence of that love, we are all part of it, each and every one of us. I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to do a short little prayer here. So let's just take a breath together. I invite you to close your eyes if you want to. We move into this moment right here, right now, where there is only this infinite potentiality that is available to each one. This loving energy that moves through us, through every cell of our being, purifying anything that stands in the way of the opposite. Purifying our thoughts, our hearts, our very being, and allowing us to feel the love, the joy, that it is truly our birthright. It's the truth of who we are. And so I'm declaring that each one here has that opportunity, not only just today, but always, to remember that they are not ever, ever alone, that within them is all possibilities, all potential, all love is right there within each and every one. And I give thanks for that knowing. I give thanks that this is a day to absolutely remember that, and to remember that all things are possible, and to celebrate the love that we are, and we always will be. And I give thanks for that knowing, and so it is. So it is.